Hello traders, it's 𝗧𝗿𝗰𝗂𝗺 here. Welcome to this session. What is it now? Session 149. In this session you're going to watch as I day traded the ES 2 tick during the Globex session. The Globex session is the market closes at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is the futures market, and reopens at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now the volumes are a lot less than say during the New York hours. However, there's plenty of volume on the ES, and it's so much slower and easier to trade. So I'm going to be running through the live trades I took and giving you some background information. Traders, don't skip this. I promise you I'll give you some key takeaways that have the potential to make a massive difference to your trading. As always, traders, I do need to bring up the disclaimer. There is a risk in trading. Please don't trade with money you can't afford to lose. Now this is a game changer for 95% of the population, 97 as I say here. What would it mean to you if you could earn an extra $1,000 a day, $5,000 a week? Now, how do you realistically achieve that as a day trader? You see, I believe that most traders have it wrong, and we see a failure rate of over 95% of day traders and scalpers. One of the key reasons is they have unrealistic expectations. They don't follow money management for the maximum risk of what we call the 2% rule, maybe 3% if you're really good at what you do. That is, we want to limit our risk. Ultimately, we are risk managers. They don't have the right trading strategies. They're impatient, and of course they don't have the right training. Now today I'm going to be trading the ES, or have been trading the ES. So this is hot off the press. You'll just see in a moment that these trades I took an hour ago, and these are very realistic targets when you're trading, say, the ES or the NQ, or maybe oil or gold. The big thing we've got to consider is the time frame that we're trading. So as you'll see in a moment, it's just ticking away quite nicely. You've got plenty of time to put your trades on, and usually you've wrapped up within an hour or two. You've hit your realistic target. So let me just show you today's trades here on the screen, and I'm going to play back the video for you in a moment. But if we look at this here, and as you'll see, we'll go to the live charts. This is what I call a T10, a little double top here. It's also a 𝗣𝗿𝗀𝗺𝗺𝗺. That is, I know a lot of members watch these recap videos as well. So we've got a little 𝗣𝗿𝗀𝗺𝗺𝗺. I was a little bit worried about this trade just here because I was at the low. And you've got to be very careful when you're selling at the low or the high of day, because you've got a very good chance you'll bounce off those points. Hence, I didn't take this trade, this little short here, and it turned into a T10, and I'm glad I didn't take it because it turned into a nice trade. In fact, I was going to wrap my trade up, my trading up, just with these two trades here, but then I saw this T10 setup. Now what's really important, all of these setups are patterns that appear in the market each and every day. Patterns you can learn. They're not difficult. There's no mathematics involved in these. And then we'll have what we call pivot magnet trades and a whole lot of other trades. Now what gives me my trading edge? Besides patterns, I trade in the direction of a higher time frame. And here we've got up here, you can see here, Sunday 22nd of February. So the market's actually open in the US Sunday afternoons at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because here down under in Australia we're ahead of you, so it's Monday morning here. And I'm just looking at some other trade setups that are just popping up right now. In fact, should we skip ahead? Look, I will at the end, because I don't want to jump ahead and lose my spot when I do get to the charts. Now let me just give you a very quick overview, because who am I? Why should you be listening to me to begin with? This is absolutely critical. I've now been day trading now for over 28 years. Back in the early days I used to have brown hair. You can see I've lost that right now. going back 20 odd years ago. I've had traders, employees working for me at an office in Melbourne, in the city, in Exchange Tower. He's back in the days, had brown hair. Artie, one of my traders. You may recognize the old computer screens back in the old days. So I've been trading a long time. What does that mean to you? I've got tens of thousands of hours of experience. If there's something better, I'll tell you about it. That is, you don't have to go and spend a fortune on fancy indicators or software, bots or whatever. That is, all you need is good old patterns that appear that are very easy to learn. Now, finally on this, before we get to the charts, I put all of this into a very extensive members area. There's literally hundreds of hours of training videos, live trading. There's over 35 strategy PowerPoints. I also run a live trading room. In February, you can see here 268 are registered. Then I've got a private coaching room that I run 2 evenings a week, 6 to 8 p.m. Every Tuesday and Wednesday evening, where traders log in and I'm teaching them how to day trade, as well as my live trading room. So you can gain all of that, the complete members area, and everything I'm about to show you for $297. Now I'm sort of jumping ahead because I want to be quick and get into the content here. Now if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. Also subscribe to my channel. You can download The Truth About Day Trading, and in a moment I'll show you an Excel spreadsheet which you can download as well. Go to the description link below and gain access. So as I mentioned, $297. You get all of my systems. I've got free indicators. Some of these would be worth thousands, quite frankly. I've spent money having them coded. For TradeStation, NinjaTrader, I've got a lot of members that use Thinkorswim, also TradingView, and I've got members that have actually coded my strategies or the indicators that I use. They're also available in the members area, totally free of charge. And as a bonus, last thing before we move on, included in the $297, you can attend 8 of my live coaching sessions. If you can't attend the live sessions, you can watch the recordings. You have lifetime access to the members area, so you've got lifetime access, any of the updates, etc., and lifetime access to the recordings, just right up to date. So if you want to, what's working now, what's not working, you can gain access to those videos. Now what I wanted to show you here, and just because this really just ties in, traders, with everything that I'm telling you here, and sorry about this, here we go. I just want to bring this over and just show you this. So right now we just had a core setup, just set up right here. Now, so each one of these steps is worth $12.50. Okay, we just had a crossover. See these white dots? These are called T20s. They identify a potential change in market direction. Now we look at this and think, gee whiz, how on earth do we trade this? But then when we apply or look at the higher time frame, all of a sudden it makes so much more sense, because these retracements or these pullbacks and then trend continuation trades are generally, well, what we're looking for is in the direction of the higher time frame, and that's how I get my 85-90% win-loss ratios. Now, so just there, so I'm generally after between 6 and 8 ticks per trade. Now each one of these, and this is a Renko chart if you're not familiar with it. Let's just check above here. And I've got the R1, a key pivot level. These are price magnets. We might even come back to this at the end of the video and just see how we would have gone buying into that. You'd already be at break even anyway on that trade, but how you'd go buying into that pivot. So let's now get into it. First of all, I want to talk to you about something which is absolutely critical to your success as a day trader and as a scalper. Now, so many traders want to go for those 2 to 1 3 to 1 returns. That is, risk $100, I want $300 back. Is that possible? Yes, if you're a swing trader. The advantage of being a scalper and a day trader is we just want to get in, get out, get paid. That's what scalping is about. And in this great movie, which was produced back in 2011, Moneyball, really good movie, recommend you watch it. It's all about, in the movie I talk about just getting on base. No need to go for the home run, just get on base. That is, get in the green, lock in a profit, okay, and do that consistently, especially when you're trading with the trend. I think you'll see I've got one reversal trade I've taken here today, which we'll explain in a moment. So just get on base. Now, I've got a lot of members now that are trading with prop firms, and I've just sent out answering three or four emails from members on prop trading. So if you don't have the capital, say the 4 to 6 to 10,000 to trade yourself, you can basically trade now, spend $50, pass the evaluation test, and then do an 80-20 split with a prop firm. And there's some really good firms out there, and I've actually got some very extensive information. Where is that? Actually, let me just try to, for an example here, just on trading, as I with prop firms, as I state here, basically you can lease yourself a $50,000 account. Now, on the other hand, if you don't want to do a profit share with a prop firm, and my strategies are just perfect for prop trading because it's how can I put it, I've got set risk management rules that go with it, okay, and it means to actually blow your account. If we go down here, where are we here, let's see here, you basically would have to have 29 losing trades in a row before your account would be closed. So this is about high accuracy, or what I call easy money trading. Now, I've got to be careful when I say easy money trading. You still need to do some work. That is, the only place in the world where I know success comes before work is in a dictionary, but it ain't rocket science. You can learn to do this. So I've got some extensive materials here if you want to run with a prop firm, and of course I discuss those in our coaching sessions. On the other hand, you can start off trading micros where you only need $400, and whoops a daisies, let me go back to this here. If you trade a micro contract is 10% of the value of a big contract. You target $20 a day, which is only 4 6-step scalps. You'll see what I mean by that in a moment. Each day, within 12 weeks, you've got 4,000, and I have to say legally, potentially, where you can now roll over and then start trading the big contract. Now, first of all, this is if you were trading the 1 tick. Now you can trade a 2-tick chart, which is a little bit slower. The 1 tick you can only trade during the Globex session. It's too fast during the New York hours. But the advantage, you've got a much smaller stop loss, and you hit your targets a lot quicker. But here we can see on $200 a day, which is only 16 ticks, you only need 3 6-tick trades a day to hit your target, and look where you are potentially in 12 weeks, a 10,000 a week income. This is the true potential. So I'm about to show you how to do this on my recordings on the next one. Now, what about for the young guns? You go for $250 a day, and you're there within 9 weeks. Within 12 weeks, potentially a $25,000 a week income. This is a true potential. However, if it sounds easy, if it's so easy, why doesn't everyone do it? Because the easy things are also easy not to do. That is, following the money management rules, following our entry rules. For an example, right now it's 12:04 a.m. Central Standard Time. In 2 hours we've got the London Open, so we need to be very cautious with our trading at the moment. It's, if you like, the slowest time of the day. But I'm just watching this in a moment. I think we're about to pop up to the pivot. I'll show you that. Hopefully we get up there. And just one other thing on this, because I was talking about the one tick. In today's session I'm trading a 2-tick chart. Now with the 2-tick, normally speaking, you need an account of 6,200. Why do you need that much when your broker tells you only need $500 to $1,000 for the day trading margins? The reason is we never risk more than 2%. We're in this business long term. That is, we don't want to blow our account. It ruins your confidence. It just blows your future, and it comes down to just managing your money correctly. Now one thing you can do, and that gives you up to a 10-tick stop. In a slower market you can get away with an 8-tick stop, which I've used today, which means on a 4,000 account you would have a 2.5% risk. So as you gain experience and build your account and follow the rules, you can trade for 2-tick with a lower account. All of this I cover extensively, by the way, in my training. At the moment it may be going straight over your head. Once again, this ain't rocket science, and once you understand the basics, okay, you'll pick this up quickly. Now there are some key things that I look for on my charts: pivots, open, high, low, and close levels, major EMAs. All of these are all easy to learn, and they're automatically plotting on your chart. So let's go to the charts. So why don't we just go to my chart first of all, which so this is at 8 p.m. of an evening, and as I mentioned, it's just after midnight now. And so we just had some plain vanilla entries. Okay, now we call this a bet the farm and a T10. Up there I didn't put T10, it was also what we call a 2B. Very high probability setup. It's a trend following setup. We see them every day in every market. Now even though we're looking at the ES here, it doesn't matter which market you trade, whether it be gold, whether it be oil, the NQ, SIA, it doesn't matter, or even stocks or Forex. The patterns are geometric, meaning that they set up every day the same patterns across all time frames and all markets. So let's now play back the recording, and after that, by the way, okay, there are a number of other really great setups. So it's just not like I've gone and picked a selective time. I mean, you just don't know what the market's going to give you. And if we just jump ahead now, okay, this is where we are right now. So just here, this is a plain vanilla 2B. That's what we call it, a 2B. Now let's now look at our anchor chart, the higher time frame as well. So we've got a little bit of resistance in front of us. Once you learn how to read these charts, which is just a matter of screen time and having explained to you step by step and learning to check out where our pivots are, it then all just falls in place. Impatience is a killer. So let me play back this recording, and there's no voiceover, so I'll give you a voiceover as we go along. So let me just hit play here. So this is only what is this, a 5-minute video, a 3-minute video, so I've hit pause and record as I've gone along. So this is the bet the farm, by the way. So for members watching this, you can see the bet the farm. It's also a T10. I'm also looking at the higher time frame. Now see where my entry was just there. That's a predetermined entry based upon what's happening on the higher time frame, and I automatically know where to place my entry. Yes, I could enter earlier, and see that just there. See down here, this is the current day's low. Now I can't remember how much further we went. Now just looking at that, I could have actually squeezed a few more ticks out of that, because when we sell down into the lows or buy into the highs, this is where quite often we can go for the larger targets. Now remember a few minutes ago I said to you that we need 3 6-tick net trades. This is after any losses. Each one of these little steps here is 1 tick, so I need just 3 ticks that go 3 trades, net trades that go down 1 2 3 4 5 6. You only need 3 of those to net $200 a day after commissions. Now let me just remind you of something just here. If I go back to this, that's a 10 grand a week in 3 months. This is a reality. So rather than going out there and trying to, in your early days, go for $1,000 $2,000 a day per contract, scalp the crap out of the market. Just go for these smaller moves. As you gain experience, then you can then start to go for some of the larger targets. Now I think I ended up pausing the video in a moment, so you'll see I enter a trade in a moment fairly quickly. Now what we're waiting for now, well, I'm now waiting for what we call a retracement, a pullback. First of all, and see what happened. We did come down and hit that low, and that's what I mean about targeting a few extra ticks. Now that makes a massive difference to your bottom line. So this here is what I call a 2B. It's also a T20-1. It's also what we call a slingshot. It's got a number of names because it's qualified over multiple things, multiple reasons. And so once again I've shorted here. Now I am in a bit of a danger zone here, and the reason being I'm selling right at the low of this session. So quite often we bounce off that. So here I've shorted here, but it is a higher risk trade. For those that want to really be super cautious with their trades, you wait for a deeper pullback. But now I've been filled, hit my target on this one, and I won't take another one of these. That is to go short. My apologies. So I just had another potential trade set up there. Now what I want you to notice, see the arrow and see the white paint bar. Arrow, white paint bar, arrow, white paint bar. I've got 2 entry signals. See the white one? That means go long, go short, go long. Now there's some other rules we apply. Be very careful if anyone just tells you how simple it is. Well, look, we can simplify it, but there are some other things we want to look for with these trade entries. The white paint bar is called the super scalper. So I can use a scalper, or I can use the hook, the trade line when it hooks. Now that would have given us a trade entry on the close of the second candle, third candle, second, third, second candle. So it's very accurate and pinpoints potential reversals and continuations. It's basically what we call, no need to understand it fully, but it's got a triple weighted moving average is what it's called. It was designed by a mathematician, but it pinpoints, if you use the right settings, just beautiful turning points in the market. So here I've taken what we call a T10. Now a T10 trade entry is also known as a money on the floor trade or a ka-ching trade, and we use T10s to identify potential reversals. Now it does not mean that necessarily the market's going to continue back, say, to the long side here, but it can pinpoint some really good moves. Now what I'm doing here, I'm about to go to break even because this is a counter trend trade. You can see we're in a downtrend. It's a potential reversal, a little safer than a pure divergence trade or a counter trend trade, but it's still against the trend. So what I want to do here is go to break even fairly quickly. So on 10 lots, you can see I'm up 10 contracts, up $212. I'm just waiting. Now I'm going to probably go to break even, and I'm going to start locking profits in, and I'm out of the trade. It ticked me out. Now almost ticked me out. Sorry, I'm about to get ticked out here. I think I'm waiting. Here's my ultimate target. However, because we're trading against the overall trend, I'm happy to get in, get out, get paid on this. And so I'm about to bring my stop up, and you'll see in a moment we'll get stopped. Now I actually had finished my trading, but then I saw this and decided to take this trade just here. And so just a perfect target. So my target's between 200 250 a day on the 1 tick to the 2 tick up to 325, depending on the time frame and the capital requirements. Don't have to worry about that right now. Simple when you understand, very simple once I explain it. Okay, pivot magnet trade, just here down into the pivot. I think we'll see in a moment it comes down and hits the pivot. Some of these trades here, they're just a self-fulfilling prophecy, because as a professional trader and other professional traders, we trade into these every day. Now remember, at the start of the session I said, what did I say about what was about to potentially happen? Remember what I said about the pivot. Look what we've just hit during our session. Now this is what we call a pivot magnet trade. Virtually it's a good 80 to 90% winner, if not 90% across the board. There are rules to pivot magnet trades. Once again, just one of the setups that I teach you. Now in total I probably have 15 or 16 setups that I teach my members, but when you first start trading, there's only 2 or 3 you want to be trading, and naturally I'll tell you what those are, following with the trend. Now by the way, see this just here, this is divergence. Some of your best reversals and divergence trades, let's check out the anchor chart one. No divergent, but it's a T12 for members watching, are when you bounce off the pivot. You'll just be blown away when you have divergence in a pivot magnet trade, how profitable and how accurate they are. Okay, and it's not a great pivot magnet trade, not a great divergence trade. I don't have divergence on my higher time frame. Now when you've got divergence on your higher time frame, for an example, see that there to there, see that there to there, that's divergence. See this lower low, that's divergence. Over here, not really, we're already trading with the trend, but see how we had a higher high. So in the Day Traders Fast Track program and in my coaching sessions, I'm teaching you how to trade these setups. Initially, this is all you need to trade. Now what you need is 3 6-step trades a day. Now your entry would not have been, if we took a conservative entry, until say the third, let's be generous and say the 4th candle. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, we're out of the trade. Now because we knew that we had a potential pivot magnet trade setting up, we could have got 10 ticks out of that, which is $125 per contract, or $12.50 on the micro. What was our daily target? 200 to 250. That's all you need on a daily basis to make a great deal of money. You decide to spend, say, an extra hour on the charts and go for 250, once again depending on the speed of the market. Okay, if it's too fast, we need to increase the time frame. Look where you are in 9 weeks, 10 grand a week, 12 weeks potentially. Now just, if you haven't seen my videos before, how this table works is we only start trading a second contract when we double our money. So once we go from 4,000 to 8,000, we can now start trading 2 contracts. Once we go from 8 to 12, we can start trading 3, staying within our 2% rule. So we're using the market's money. So not only here do we start off with 4,000, but we've now got 92,000 in our account. This is a reality of trading if you trade correctly. okay? And that's the thing, is being patient. Now remember, a couple of minutes ago I spoke to you about that counter trend trade. Traders, that's the last thing you want to be trading as a new trader. You only want to trade with the trend, because the trend's probably got a good 80% of the time it's going to continue in your trade direction. So traders, I've covered a great this is 30 minutes. I've covered a lot of information in this video. You can learn this for $297. I'm giving you all of this. Basically you can only see a portion of my office here. I've got 28 years of experience under my belt. I have hundreds of indicators I've either had coded or designed or purchased. What I'm giving you is all my indicators are free, or if I don't have them coded for your trading platform, I'm giving you the settings so you can set them up on virtually any platform. You're getting all of my PowerPoints. You have lifetime access to the members area, and as you could see, traders, well, I won't go back to that now. I have hundreds of traders in my coaching sessions. So basically you're getting all of that, including 8 free sessions for $297. So come and join me. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can join using the link below. Let me teach you how to scalp and day trade the markets. Thank you, traders.